Good morning and welcome to Joyful Mom. My name is Tami Lewis, and today I want to have a chat with you about our inner voice. Okay, when I say that out loud, I think, man, you might be a little weird. However, I did a post the other day about inner voices, and did you know that most of us actually have an inner conversation going on in our head? Most everybody has that. Some people speak it out loud, but most people have some sort of conversation in their head going on at most times. So we are not weird. Just so you know, we are normal. Those conversations you're having are normal. The question is are they healthy? Is your inner voice healthy, or is it speaking negativity and destroying you as a person? The scriptures talk about your inner voice as actually your soul. I had never actually considered that before, that that's my soul talking to me. So is my soul doing well? You know, the word or the song, it is well with my soul. Is it well with your soul? Or is your soul despondent, sad, in fear, in anger, irritation? Or is it joyful, passionate, healthy, abundant? Now, it could be going between the two. I definitely have an inner soul or inner conversation that goes on in my head. So the state of my soul, let me share that with you. During the day, my soul is pretty strong, and my inner voice says, you can do this. You've got this. Come on, girl, check off your goal list. Like, that's my inner voice during the day. However, at 8 p.m. at night, no joke, about 8 o'clock, between 8 and 9, my inner voice switches. And it starts telling me what a failure I am, how I can't do this. I'm gonna actually share with you. This was last night. So I'm not saying I win at this game all the time, but what I'm going to share with you is my journey, because I've learned how to overcome and how to recognize this. So this was last night, messaging my text to my husband. This is me speaking. For your information, I don't know what I'm doing and I am failing in my business. And he messaged back, just stop it, because he knows my inner voice. And I messaged again, no, seriously, I have no idea what I'm doing. And each time I try, I find out I'm doing things wrong and there are a million other things I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know if I can keep this up. I don't think I can succeed. Ugh. That was my message. And you know what he said? He goes, why do you seem to go beat yourself up late at night? That was my inner voice at night. And this happens consistently. Now, over time, I have learned to recognize that. And I know now exactly what that was. So this morning I woke up and went, man, I gave in. And that's probably why I'm here talking about it today, because I know what I did. I gave in to my inner voice. So today, I want to help you also recognize that inner voice. I want to make sure that you understand what it is, how to deal and overcome with that voice. And then I want to give you something that you can put into practice that actually will help you in that journey. Now, as you can see, I'm not perfect in this journey, and I don't know that we ever will be. I think that's part of our flesh, and that's part of who we are as a person, is we struggle with that. You may have found perfection, but I've never met somebody like that. I find that we all have something that our inner voice tells us that we go, and we tend to believe it instead of taking action steps to overcome it. All right, so first thing I want to talk to you about is recognizing your inner voice. Here's what I want you to do. I like to hold things up. I don't know why, but 3x5 card. Grab a 3x5 card or a notebook of some sort. I don't care if it's a scratch piece of paper, whatever. Start writing down what the words are that go through your head. You will be amazed when you put it on paper that this is how you speak to yourself. Now, write the good and the bad. I think that's really interesting because I've recognized that my day voice is much different than my night voice. And so I have turned and started working on my night voice. Write it down. Whatever the words are in your head, yes, they may be yucky. You may not be in a place of abundance yet, but that's okay. That's part of the journey, right? So write them down. Take a 3x5 card and simply write down your inner thoughts, because your inner thoughts do not need to be permanent. And that's what we're here to talk about, is that you can actually change those. But for now, you've got to recognize, number one, you've got to recognize what your inner voice is saying. So over the next 2 to 3 days, get that 3x5 card and just write down what your inner voice is saying, and definitely identify if you've got a time zone that's dealing with. Okay, number 2, I want you to start overcoming that voice. How do you do that? Well, once you've taken 2 or 3 days to write down what's happening, then on the back, on a different piece of paper, again, I don't really care where you put it, start replacing that with other words. So if you say to yourself, like I did, I can't do this, you write down something like, I'm capable, or my family's chaotic. You write down something like, my family has order. Something opposite, something that if you could magically transport yourself and go, this is what I would like it to be. What's the opposite of the negative? Now, if you're already positive, fabulous. Keep going with those. But for the negative ones, write down something that is opposite that you would actually like to achieve. Because we really can't get there until we recognize, like I said, the negativity, and then we recognize what we would like. So you should have 2 lists, your inner voice and what you would love your inner voice to be saying, or what you would like your life to actually look like. Do not skip that step, by the way. Super important, because your brain will follow what you tell it to do. Okay, so first, you recognize that inner voice by writing it all down on a 3x5 card or whatever you want to write it on. Secondly, take those negative options and write the opposite. Okay, now third, many of you who listen to me know that I am not a real complicated person. I pretty much live in simplicity. So take a dry erase marker. Doesn't have to get any more complicated than that. If you've heard me talk about this, you know exactly where I'm going. You take that dry erase marker and you write down 1 or 2 of those ideas that you would really like to achieve. Write them down on your mirror in your bathroom. Then when you see that, every time you are in your bathroom, you speak it out loud. So mine right now says, I am capable. Yes, I do this too. This isn't something I did a few times and don't do anymore. I do it all the time. I constantly have different messages to myself on my mirror. Why? Because when we write it down and then we speak it out loud, we are engaging our brains in such a way that our brains start to believe these things. And it has been shown by studies that the more you believe about yourself, the more self-fulfilling that will be. It's scriptural too. The word is very clear that your words are powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, capable. Oh, I don't know the rest of the scripture. I'm sure you guys do, but it's capable of oh, come on, chime in below if you know the rest of that word. But the word is powerful. And our words that we speak make our brain believe where we're headed. And it will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. All right, so ready? Again, I'm going to review this because I don't have a whiteboard or something. I think I need something to write things down. Okay, number 1, recognize the inner voice. Know what your inner voice is saying to you. Number 2, start to overcome that by giving the opposite option. And number 3, take that dry erase marker and write it on your mirror, but verbally speak it every time you see it. Those things will actually change what you're going to see in yourself. So I'm going to give you 3 examples of something I would write. Well, you know my first one, I am capable. When you start feeling like you aren't enough in your family, that you're not doing a good enough job, write down, I am capable. Because you know what? A lot of life is learning a new skill. It's not that somebody can't teach us. Somebody out there can teach us, right? And it's learning a new skill, how to manage food, how to manage a household, how to manage your budget. All of those things are a skill that you are capable of learning. You just have to figure out what you want to learn and start figuring that out. Who's going to teach me? So, okay, that's the first one. That's what I wrote down, capable. Number 2, I am strong. Mama, you have a 100% success rate of getting through your day. Now, you may not have done everyone beautifully, but you have gotten through them all, right? You're still here with me. You're still here. You've still got a life. You're breathing. You have a 100% success rate. Now, there may be some other skill you need to learn next, and that's fine. This is a journey. I say that all the time. This is a journey. Let's go on it together and get stronger and stronger, but you need to start believing you are strong. So write it down. The third one was, I like this one. I am calm. Because I know a lot of moms, they struggle with that part of it. They struggle with being calm. Well, start believing it. Start writing it down. It is a skill you can learn. I've been working on that one with my home. And it's working. It's been working beautifully. I always figure like 90% of how my household runs is my attitude, because Mama, you do set the tone in the house. And that's something you can create. It takes work. It's not easy, but you can do it. All right. Something I want to actually make sure you know, that this is not a easy fix. This is not something that overnight you're just going to be like, oh, my inner voice now speaks to me beautifully. If you listened at all, you know my inner voice devastated me last night, right? It didn't devastate me. It attacked me last night, but it did not devastate me. Why? Because I knew what was happening, and I know how to get out of it, and I know what to do tonight because I've been here so many times. You can do that too. You can totally get to the point where you recognize that voice and you go, I am not going to let this devastate me anymore. And it is a journey. Be gracious with yourself when you do fall back into those times where you do listen to that inner voice, because it will happen. But it's all right. You take those 3x5 cards, you take that dry erase marker, and you go, you know what? I know what to do to not continue listening to this anymore. Give yourself grace as you walk the journey, but start speaking truth and wisdom into your soul, because it wants that. It yearns for that. Okay. All right. I would love for you to put this into practice today. So here's what I'm going to do. If you put this into practice and you write on your mirror, and I know some of you already do this, so you can just take a picture of what's up there right now. Although I will say that when you change it, it helps you again, even if you erase and write it the same thing again, because we get used to seeing it up there. And so it becomes something you just see. You've got to change it up every once in a while, or else your body forgets that it's there. At least mine does. So take a picture of your mirror and post it in the comments below, and I will send you a PDF of a scripture that you can pray over your family. So it's just something that I'm going to put together that is going to be a prayer that you can speak out loud over your family, over yourself, however you want to use it. But you post a comment and I will send that to you. All right. Oh, you know what? I am going to talk about this real quickly. If you are in a place where life is really hard right now and there's a lot of chaos in your home, you're needing a little deeper than what I just did right now, because you need kind of a stop to the chaos of just the home life. It feels like things are constantly in motion. You've constantly got a kid to deal with, something to pick up, dinner to make, and you're like this all the time, like, if that's you right now, or you know somebody who that is them, I did create a course called Taking Control of the Chaos. It's specifically designed for moms who have probably the age of about 1 to 10-year-olds, but it's things that I implemented in my home to stop that chaos. It's kind of a emergency stop the button. That didn't make any sense. You know, the stop buttons you just like push on a treadmill because you're going too fast. That's kind of what this course is for, is to put an emergency stop on that chaos. And it teaches you 3 things that you can do. We talk about room time, book basket, and emotions. And it's 3 things you can put into place like immediately that gives you about 20 to 40 minutes of downtime each day. Now, it'll start at 5 to 10 minutes as you implement, but it will build as you put these in. And they're not hard. Like I said, I'm a simple person. My brain works on a very simple level, but it's something that I feel is really valuable for some people. So if that's you, please, I guess I'll put that link below too, that you can go ahead and get started on that. I encourage you to invest in yourself with that, because that's one of the best things you can do is push that stop button and go, okay, I'm going to take this control. Be purposeful. You can do this. That's what I have to say to you today. I love you all. God bless. And I hope you find joy in your journey.